Okay. So AUM has some weird things since the iOS 16 update, at least on the phone and trying to use the OP-1. Um, I would suggest if you're trying to use OP-1 specifically, I can't speak for everything. I would suggest not upgrading to iOS 16. Give it a little time if you're using the phone. Um, some stuff works pretty good, but the AUM stuff, for whatever reason, is having a breakdown. Sorry about the noise in the back. So I'm chilling. I'm getting messages. I'm chilling on my couch with the iPhone and the OP-1, and I know you can't see it, but, and I'm getting messages. Cool thing is, this is probably why I don't do a lot of music on the iPhone, because of distractions. But anyway, I started a song on the OP-1, I don't know, maybe a day or so ago. And by the way, I'm sick, so if I sound a little weird, excuse it. But anyway, and I was like, what am I going to use? And yes, I've tried a few things, which I don't like most things, recording into on iOS, because unless you're using MIDI, the only thing that for me works really well is Koala. And I find it's just simple. You can use Loopy Pro, and I know it's possible, but I don't care for the Loopy workflow. And what I mean by that is the little circles. I don't want to be plugging in how many bars I'm going to make on there. Try to record to that timing and feel constrained. That was kind of why I don't use Ableton in that way. I primarily use Ableton in arrangement view, and I don't touch session view. I'm not a live looper type person, and that live loop type workflow just doesn't appeal to me. I prefer just a regular DAW, linear, record straight across so I can see the wave, adjust it, and move on. That's me. That's my rant for this video. But I did have fun and figured, for old time's sake, the way I used to do it was like if I wanted to play the bass, I would just hook a audio interface up to the iPhone and record straight into Koala. And I would play and then leave the first note on the end so I would know exactly where to chop it. With the same flow I use with the SP404, which is really nice and it works. So I'm going to let you hear, I'm going to let you hear the parts first. So I have different drums that I used on this version versus the OP-1 version. I did import some of my own drums, but I figured if I'm going to send the song to Koala, I could redo the drums and have them separate, which is the only downfall to me with recording with the OP-1 is you can get your synth ideas really nice and separated. But when it comes to the drums, because you only have 4 tracks, unless you're going to do the drums separate, then on one maybe tape, and then on the next tape, try to copy those and bring, like consolidate them in some kind of way, I guess, and then bring them to another tape, which would be ideal in this type of workflow. It's sometimes better just to lay down the chords, the lead, or the melody, and then maybe like, what else would you lay down? Maybe a bass line, and then bring it over into some type of DAW like or sampler like device, app, etc., and build the rest of the track. So that's kind of what I did here. So you see on the screen, here's the drums. So when I'm using Koala, if I'm not using a controller that has velocity sensitivity, then I like to have 2 kicks, 2 snares, and about 4 hats. Usually 3 are regular hats like this. And then this one, which I forgot to add in this song, is an open hat. All right. So this was the original chords I came up with on the OP-1. And this is exactly how it sounds because I'm just recording it straight in. Minus what you hear in the background of me talking. All right, so now you got an idea. This was the melody I came up with. Okay, and then I added in extra parts because, mind you, the drums are on the OP-1 on one channel. So I only had one extra channel and I wasn't sure if I was going to do the bass line. So I added this to these 2 notes, which I used to play another melody. I'm going to call it a counter melody maybe. But anyway, here they are. It's like a pad, right? And so then I put all that together and this is what I have. Oops, sorry. I forgot I'm in AUM. I got to use this. If I'm in Koala by itself, I have my OP-1 to where I can at least control the start and stop without having to touch this, which is kind of cool. But anyway, we'll get into that later. All right. Okay, so there you go. And if you hear me breathing in the back, I apologize. I forgot to turn the record or the thing here. Hold on, let me see. Oh, no, that's not it. I'd have to actually turn the mic off. I forgot I'm in AUM. Anyway, so that's all I've added so far. I do need to probably adjust the volume on that. Bring it down some more. I'm not even looking at the volume. Just trying to do it by ear because I want it to sound natural. So I'll probably throw one of those in the 8 bar, maybe 2, or more likely 1, so it doesn't get too repetitive. And then, yeah, that's it. And then probably add a bass. Wasn't sure if I'm going to use a bass on here, on the OP-1, which you can't see, but, you know, it is what it is. That sounds really bad. Oh, part of the reason is, let me see. Not hearing it come out of here. Huh. When I'm in standalone, this works great, but I was trying to record and show you what it sound like and be able to talk. And that's the hard part with the iPhone, is because I usually record with the iPhone. I'm using the iPhone as the basically like a DAW-like vibe. So I may have to do that on another round, show you the base stuff I might add. But for right now, this is just an idea to show you that I can use the OP-1 with the iPhone and record in. Now I'm using my BeatFits Pro for the ability to listen. If you try to run, you should be able to do this in theory, but if you try to run the OP-1 into AUM right now with this latest update, I'll show you. You'll see here, you go to the output, there's the OP-1. But if you use it here, then you have to use the speaker on the OP-1. It's basically using the USB like an audio interface. So you might think that's cool, and if you want to plug your headphones into the OP-1, then that's cool, it will work. But for the sake of showing you this video, I can't do that. All right, so then the other thing is, this is where it's really messing up. So you'll see the input, it's only using the iPhone microphone. But here, if you look down below, just glance down, you'll see USB OP-1. So it should be able to pick up on the OP-1. So watch if I touch it. See that? It completely just... Can you hear me? Okay. It completely just cuts everything off. I think it's trying to... Let me see, one more thing. Okay, if I go here... So I'm trying to leave it on BeatFits Pro. Yeah, it's tripping. So anywho, I am about to sit here and stress this right now. That's just an option you can see that you can record to the iPhone. Ideally, I would just say use Koala by itself. Maybe if you're going to use like an OP-1 or something to that effect, until maybe there's an update, unless you have the older version of iOS, and I think it might work on that one. But for whatever reason, it's kind of weird. Anyway, I'm not going to make this video any longer than what I've already done. Just wanted to show you that there are other options. If you're going to use iOS, definitely get yourself a tablet. I think it's an easier workflow with the tablet than with the iPhone. That's just my opinion, unless you're not going to use like a device with it and you're just using the phone by itself, then that's one thing. So anyway, just options. I'll keep working at it and seeing if I come up with something that works. And if I find a workflow that actually works properly, then I'll make a video about it just to show you. So that way you can try to, fix whatever you want to do or come up with ideas if you want to use that workflow. All right, I'm out.